was asked to go over a little bit about how to format the homeworks, especially using the equation editor. So I thought I'd just kind of give an overview of, I guess, what I visualize as a good formatting for homework. I've started up, I just got a blank Word document. In the end, when I upload these, I'm going to make it into a PDF. I start in a Word document and I just got it open. Just to make it nice, why not make a little template you can use each time? You don't have to repeat things. And so I'm just going to make a header and footer, and you can save this as kind of a blank document or as a template and go from there. And so I guess I would, over here, I would normally put the date. So I guess today is, that's the date. And let's see, 252, and your name. I'm Grossman, so I'll put myself over there. You can put a little line under there if you want and make it look even prettier. I just got here just by double clicking. If you haven't used headers and footers before, but you probably have. You can also do something pretty. You can put a little color in it, or something like that. I'm not into pretty, so let's do that. Maybe I'll bold this. How's that? Do there. And down at the bottom here, drop down to the bottom, and under design, come back over here to footer, and maybe I'll put a page number at the bottom. Right, that looks kind of nice. And we'll just leave it at that. And now I'm back. So I was up here in header. Now I'm just double clicking in the main body, and we can get going. I'm going to use header 1, and I'm just going to give it a title. This is homework 1, and then heading 2 for style, problem 1. Do that. And then the next one you've got, right, then you can do problem 2. It helps if you spell them right. There you go. And then whatever you need in between here. And yeah, just pretty simple setup that way. It's easy to follow. Again, you can save this as a template, and then you're ready to go next time. If you want to make this a little prettier on the top or the bottom, that's fine. If you want to add in the honor code somewhere on here, then you don't have to repeat it next time. And so now to get started, usually we repeat what the question is. And so for an example, we use the ICA we had in class the other day. So I'm going to pull that up. Here's the ICA. That shows up on there. And here's the problem statement up here. So if I wanted to repeat this problem statement, the easiest way I know to do it is use the snipping tool. And I'm using my favorite snipping tool, which is ShareX right now, to record this. So I can't use it twice. Both snip and record the video. So I'm going to use the built-in Microsoft one, which is the snipping tool. And I just type in snipping tool in the search thing, and the snipping tool application pops up, and here it is. And you can use some shortcut keys and stuff if you wanted to. I don't want to do that because I already got my snipping tools active and it might confuse it. So I'm just going to do a new one. It highlights everything, and I'm just going to copy this and snip it. There it is. And I think it should have copied it to my, copied it to the clipboard, and so I'm going to paste it in Control V, and there it is. So no point in retyping this, just copy and snip it through that, right? This also works if you're using an online book. And I can pull up my online book here. 7th edition, there it is. I'm gonna drag this over here, squeeze it in. All right, so if I was gonna pull one of these out, right, I can still use the snipping tool. Where'd it go? There's my snipping tool. I'm gonna do a new snipping tool, and if I wanted to do a problem like this, I'm just going to copy that. Snipping tools work great because they'll just grab anything that's on your screen. There it is. And I could just drop that in Control V to paste it. There you go. All right. So again, I would not retype anything. I would just use that. If you've got a physical copy of the book, you can take a picture with your phone and just drop that in for it. Or you can do, there's different ways to scan it, which I had in the notes from day 1, I think. So we'll get rid of that. So let's say this is the problem I wanted to do, and so there's my problem statement, and now I want to write my answer to that, and so I want my I guess my response is an equation and how to use the equation editor. So equation editor, There's a couple different ways to get to it. You can go up here to insert and then come over here to equation, and that can get you started. And now you have the toolbar for it. Or if I back out of that, you can also, let's stay there. You can also hold down the alternate key and then the equal sign on your keyboard, and that puts you into it automatically. So you can really quickly get there right from that. And I'm going to delete that. We've already got one. Ready to go. So if I was going to do part A here, how far would the car travel before the brakes are applied? And I think these are the different scripts. And so this is my distance D sub, and this is reaction distance. And then I do the right arrow that moves me past the little R. I throw in my equal sign, a little space bar in there, and that is going to be that's velocity, and then I can throw this cool little dot in here like a real math person. That's your velocity times your reaction time, and so we're going to use one as a subscript, and so there's my time with reactions through that, and there's my equation. So that's I'm not sure that's exactly the one we use in the book, but that gives you an idea. So I'm just picking out those pieces through there. I've lost the equation editor stuff until I click back inside of it. Now it comes back up, and if I come up here and click design, now I have all my tools. You can put brackets, you can use integrals, radicals, you can do scripts. That's what I was using mostly. And then you can also, we're going to use the fraction pieces coming up here in a second. Through there, and then over here is all of your basic, some of your Greek letters and all of your operators, plus, minus, infinity. The dot is down here, dot, 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 and so forth as you go through that. So there's that. The nice thing is, it took me a little bit of time to write that, but now I can just Control C, drop down a line, paste it back in, and now I can plug in what my velocity is. And so in this case, I think it was 66 feet per second, and my reaction time is 2.5 seconds. And that will do that unless you hit Control Z. Well, if you prefer having it written out like that, otherwise it shows it like an equation, and that's my seconds. And it's always keeps trying to do that all the time. Equals, and then I guess I'm gonna give up. So that's feet per second, 2.5 seconds, and I'll have to cheat here and look what the answer was, or pull my calculator out, and that was going to be 165 feet. So 165 feet. So that's part A. So I'm done. And if I, to highlight that, I just do that, make it bold maybe. So there's my answer. Or if you wanted to be a little flashier, you can do that and highlight it with yellow. So it's easier than putting a box around it. If you worked hard enough at it, you could find a box to put under it. I don't know if you can underline it or not. Nope, you have to underline the whole thing. All right, so that's not going to work. But there we go. And it's go back to design, and there we've got it. So, and then the next thing, if I did part B there, so now B, let's say I do alternate equation key, and in this case now I'm going to do distance for braking, so D sub B. So I picked the right script for that. I do the right arrow key to take. So if I do the left arrow key, I'm highlighting the B. Do another left arrow key, I'm highlighting the D, as in dog, B as in boy. Go past it now, and now I can put my equal sign, and that is equal. Now I need a big fraction for it, so I'm going to put that in here. And now up here in the numerator, I've got a V1 squared, so I need a term that has squared with an exponent and a whatever they call this little one, sub, something through there. So V1 squared divided by 2g times the phrase 0.35 plus or minus g. So now I can do 2g, parentheses 0.35. Here's my plus or minus g, and there's my equation for braking distance. All right, so that's the general equation. Control C, copy that, drop down, Control V, drop it in. Now I'm going to plug in numbers for it. And in this case, 66 is my original velocity. So there's 66. I don't need the sub 1 anymore, so I just hit delete. It shows a little box there, but when you print it, you won't see that through there. And 2G, G is 32.2. And you can put in feet per second squared if you wanted to. I guess we, I don't know what happens if we did feet per, and now I need to put in feet per second squared. I mean, I don't think you need to show that, but if you wanted to really be fancy, you can do that. Plus or minus G, and in this case, we were saying it's flat, and so that's 0 right from there. There we go. And now that so by using the arrow keys, I've moved past what's highlighted. Now I'm out here at the end of the line, the numerator denominator fraction. I hit equals. I can just type the number in here. In this case, it was 193.3 feet. Do that. And that's my answer for B. So I'm going to make that bold. Go back here at home. Make that bold. And real quick, right, so there I finished the first one. And it's, yeah, and usually I pull scratch paper out and I do the equations. If I'm not sure how to do it right off, I'll start out, that way. And then once I know what I need to write, and off we go. Yeah, it's a little slower to do the equations, but it's not that slow. And then the nice part is you can just copy and paste, and maybe the next problem is also going to use this exact same equation. I just copy that and paste it, change some numbers. It's actually quite quick. I'm not sure it's that much slower actually than writing them by hand through there. And then when you're done with it, right, and we'll save this, and then we just go over here to export. Export as a PDF. Save as a PDF. It'll pop up and ask you where you want to put it, and I'll publish it there, and it should pop up. There it is. And so, oops, come on. Oop, there it is. Right. So, yep. So now it's a PDF, and that's what I upload then to Canvas as my solution. Okay. I hope that helps. If you need to do a picture or a diagram, or if you should do one, PowerPoint is the easiest way to do that because Word, it's really hard to drop images in and put arrows in and stuff. And it's always trying to do left justification or center justification, and it's kind of hard to line them up. PowerPoint is a much easier way to do that kind of stuff, and I guess I can do one real quick here. Let me resize this so it fits in here. All right, let's do a blank presentation. Doesn't really matter. I always like this to go blank on that. And in this case, let's say I want to do something about, about a car for that. So I'm going to pull up Google, best friend Google, and say car icon. And ooh, look, see, there's cute little cars. Maybe I like this one. And I could download this and do something with it. It's just so much easier to use the snipping tool. So I never have to download anything. I do half my life is all about the snipping tool. Boop, there it is. Got it. And I come back over here and drop that in. There's my little car. And now I can draw the road under it. So if we've got a car on a grade, that's going to be a problem we have coming up here. Right click. I'm going to change the color to black. I'm going to change the weight to 3 is my favorite weight for these things. And that looks great, right? Car needs to be on the road. Got it. Move it up here a little bit. Right. And now let's throw some text on here. This is a 3% grade. It's a positive 3% grade. All right. Oops. This will make more sense later. That looks kind of small. Let's make it bigger. And then we'll rotate that to fit. There we go. So it's a positive 3% grade, and it is going some distance. Where's a double-headed arrow? There it is. Right. And this car is traveling some distance. And I'm going to make that also black. And I'm going to make it a weight of 3. There we go. And I can throw in, back over here, go back to that. And I can say, well, this is traveling 150 feet at 3% grade. And maybe the question is, what's the change in elevation from point A to point B? So here's, real basic diagram. If I wanted to jazz it up a little bit, we could throw a fancier arrow in here. Where's the big arrows at? There's the big arrows. All right, this car's going this direction. There we go. Stuff like that. So if we need to do sketching, right, not that slow, and it's actually pretty good. I've also got a tablet, and sometimes I just freehand draw stuff and bring them in, and that's all right, especially for sketches. All right, through that, as long as they're legible. But you can also do some freehand sketching, especially if we did if we were doing vertical curves, which we'll be discussing soon in class. But I might still use the icon for the car and throw it in there and some text to make it look better. Right, so here's all this. I'm going to highlight all of that, put it together, all these separate elements now, and I am going to group them together, make them into groups, so now it's a single piece. And now I'm going to grab that, Control C to copy it, come back over here to my Word document. I could paste it in like that, but it's going to do some weird stuff. And so I like to do paste special. I like to bring it in as an enhanced meta file, which means it kind of comes in like a picture. There it is. And now because it's a picture, I can scale it and I can move it around. If you just copy and paste it as it was before, who knows what Microsoft thinks. Sometimes it thinks they're individual elements. And if you try scaling it, the text will stay the original size and the other stuff won't. It can be kind of a mess. And this, I can put that in the center then, and there's my little sketch, if I wanted to have a sketch. So I hope that helps. That's, I guess, some basics on getting started in the world of electronic formatting of homeworks. Thanks.